Hello, everybody. This is the TBK podcast. We have myself, we have Rash, and we have Tunde. A quick post-fight review of the Triple G versus Szeremeta fight. I mean, where do we begin, lads? Like, where do we begin? I mean, Triple G's come out. I mean, when was the last time he had his last fight? When was his last fight prior to that?
He fought Darren Janko the last time, I think, and then he didn't look too good. I think he lost that fight. To be honest,
how long ago was that?
I think it was about a year ago.
About a year ago, right? Okay. Well, I think let's first talk about our impressions of the actual fight, and then after that, maybe we can get into some Triple G talk after as well. Maybe that's the best way to kind of go about it. I mean, I'll start first. Triple G, he came out, the first round he was kind of just, feeling Szeremeta out. And I don't know, I mean, this is what Triple G always does, doesn't he? He always gets it normally takes him about, say, between 2 to 4 rounds until he just starts trying to steamroll his opponent. I mean, I saw the fight, I saw them come out, and I said, this fight ain't lasting no more than 2 rounds. He dropped him. I thought, okay, second round, he's done. He dropped him again. Third round, he dropped him again. Fourth round, he dropped him again. And he just basically done whatever he wanted to do. His angles look good. He looked very strong. I mean, Szeremeta, he never really had no answer for him. He was in over his head. It was like a man versus a child, in my opinion. I mean, what did you? Let's start with you, Rash. What did you think?
I think the good news is he looked good, and the bad news is he looked good.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's
break that
down. He's only looking good against a certain level of opposition, and he's only really fighting these level of, and he's only looking good against these level of opposition. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So before there was a lot of speculation of I don't know if this is the right time to bring this up, but the whole Canelo fights and did Canelo wait for him to get older and whatever, but every time he takes a step down he just blows through his opponents, so he's still looking at the same Golovkin. Is he actually that good, or because if he was that good he would at least be winning those tougher fights, and winning a bit more impressively. Now, going back to the fight, I think, like I said, he came in, he just did what he wanted to do. He was jabbing a lot, his angles are there, but he was throwing body shots again, which we haven't really seen for a long time. His power was back. He looked in phenomenal shape. I don't know if there's something weird going on there, but he's 38 as well, so I don't know if he should be. I don't want to slander anybody, so hopefully it's all just hard work. But you know what I'm saying. But the things I'm still noticing are he has to kind of do everything off the jab. Do you know what I mean? Everything until he gets really super comfortable, everything he does is off the jab. And I think when you're fighting a good counterpuncher or someone who can kind of take your jab away, then what are you gonna do? Like with not that he didn't do anything against Canelo, because he's always out jabbed his opponents. But when Canelo was kind of able to doubt his jab, then he didn't really know what else to do. Do you get what I'm saying? But saying that, I think he does have one of the best jabs in boxing that I've seen for a long time. But it's just that it's just that jab. Once that jab can kind of be discouraged, it's like he doesn't really know what to do. But anyway, going back to the fighters, I've never really heard of Szeremeta before. I had to kind of watch a few highlights just before, a couple of days before, and he looked like he was just quite crude, quite straight up and down. He looked like he hit relatively hard for the level he was fighting, but I didn't really think there was going to be any problems. So that's basically my assessment of the fight. I think it was a good performance of Golovkin, but it's a bad look that he's looking so good against lower class opposition when he stepped up he hasn't looked as hot. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's my thoughts on the fight, really.
Considering that it's a year since he was last out, it was a good solid performance from Triple G. Typical, Triple G working off the jab to get the job done. I think that's his bread and butter. In terms of the opponent, the only thing that I can say about Szeremeta is that he was durable. He was tough. There was nothing else about him. He's not really somebody with who has that much about him. Having said that, he was previously undefeated. He came in thinking that, as all boxers do, he's got a chance, but. I mean, he got knocked down by a jab.
Man,
didn't even know what he was doing. What? Like he was just on the floor, like he was. What?
The thing is, he was clearly durable. I mean, he didn't. I see someone post up a video saying Szeremeta quit on his stool. He didn't quit. The referee stopped it. Like, the referee had to stop that fight because this guy weren't going to quit and his corner weren't going to throw in the towel.
Yeah. Well, he just got pummeled, and the thing is like, and then like man started coming in with the body punches, and like, you know, even the commentators were just going, ooh, like, you know.
Yeah. They were like crunching punches.
Yeah.
Crunching,
like,
man.
He was flooding them in, like, and he's like, I thought, is he trying to do a Matthew Macklin on him again or something? He got the job done. That was his 21st world title defense, which I think is phenomenal.
Okay, 2 seconds. Let's talk about this, right? Because I was confused by this. I didn't quite understand it. So they're saying that he's beaten Bernard Hopkins' record of 21 title defenses. Bernard Hopkins done 20, I believe, yeah? Yeah. Now, but didn't Bernard Hopkins defend his title 20 times in a row without losing? Consecutively, without losing. So how has Triple G beaten Bernard Hopkins' record?
So, but he hasn't beaten the not consecutively, but in total, he's beaten the record because he's
cumulatively.
Yeah.
Man, that's some bullshit record, man. Sorry. You know what? Yeah, I'm not even a hater, yeah, but I was watching it. I was thinking like, hold on, wait a second. What? Don't talk about Bernard Hopkins in the same sense. Like, this is one thing that I can't stand about Triple G. It's always like they're always trying to kind of what's the word? Like, they're always trying to, like, you know, manipulate the stats and that to make him out to be a great. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, Bernard Hopkins defended his title 20 times in a row. Yeah. Don't tell me that Triple G, has beaten Bernard Hopkins because he had 21 title defenses. It's like clever wording. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I was thinking to myself, hold on, so wait, so when Canelo took all your titles, he never took the IBF and IBO. Wait, he said, nah, you can keep those.
Because that's what I was thinking. When I seen it was the IBF title, I think Canelo must have vacated the IBF. But so then Golovkin and Darenchenko, I think they fought for the vacant IBF.
Yeah.
From what I can remember, anyway. That's just off of memory.
Right.
So I could be
okay. Wrong. Okay. So Canelo got all the titles off of him. Yeah. Yeah. And then Canelo vacated, and then Triple G has now fought Shevchenko for the title. Yeah. And now they're trying to talk about 21 title defenses. Man, that's some nonsense record, man. I don't want to hear all of that, man. I don't want to hear all of that, bro. Seriously, man. Come on.
The thing is, though, like, all that aside, like, I've always liked Triple G. I've just liked the way that he just goes about his business. Going back to what Rash was saying, you know, just in terms of the level of opposition, I would say that, you know, if they're sort of like, you know, half decent opposition, then he'll just blow through them. He'll spark them out. When he comes against, like, what you call the elite, so, like, you know, the Daniel Jacobs, the Canelos, you know, it's a lot harder to dispatch them in the same way. Like, regardless of who the boxer is, like, if they're truly elite, it's going to be a little bit more difficult just to, like, you know, break them down the way that you'll break down, you know, like a half decent boxer, in my opinion.
You know what? Yeah, you see Triple G, right? It's like I like Triple G in terms of his fight style. I like his fight style. Like, there's no one else out there like Triple G. But I'm also fed up with Triple G. I'll be honest. Like, I'm completely fed up with him. I feel like he's been, like, blagging us for a very, very long time. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like the only fight he's chasing is the Canelo fight. Like, he doesn't act like anyone else exists. He's not making meaningful fights. The only fight he cares about is the Canelo fight. Like, you know, there's other guys out there who, they might not be as big a fights as the Canelo fight, but there will still be fights that the fans will be interested in. You know, like the Charlos. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like Andrade. You know, these are kind of like, Triple G doesn't even mention these guys. At least Canelo, like, mentions them. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? But and regardless, even though Canelo hasn't fought none of these guys, at least Canelo is trying to have meaningful fights. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Like Triple G, he just wants to stay at 160 and just thinks that he's going to be, like, you know, this great because the commentators are giving him all these kind of accolades and they kind of sell him in this kind of way. But to be honest, like, I'm fed up with it. I half wasn't even going to watch the fight yesterday. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, but I said, you know what? It's Triple G. I'm going to watch it. Hopefully this guy's about something and, you know, Szeremeta, you know, he tried, but he just wasn't in the same league. I want to see Triple G fight someone that's within his league and it actually means something.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
And you have to really deep it. You have to really deep it as well. Yeah, Canelo's fighting Callum Smith today. Golovkin for Szeremeta. Do you know what I'm saying?
Szeremeta, come on,
crazy.
man.
It's crazy. But I think going forward, I'd really like to see a Golovkin Charlo fight, man, because I think those two have the two best jabs at middleweight. Charlo's got an excellent jab. From even when he was at light middleweight, he's had a very stiff, good jab. Golovkin's got an amazing jab as well. So and also I think Derenchenko was kind of hitting Charlo quite a bit late on in their fight. So I think if Golovkin can kind of get past Charlo's athleticism, he might be able to still beat him at this stage. I don't know in it, but it's a fight that I really want to see because I feel like they're both Charlo. Maybe at this stage, Charlo's a little bit more proven. I might even say that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Then Triple G. What?
The only reason I'm going to say that, yeah?
Okay, go on. Let's hear this. This is good. Go on, break it down. Charlo is more proven than Triple G. Let's go.
I'm saying maybe he's a little bit more proven because he's had the belt at light middleweight. He beat Julian Williams. He beat like not everyone, but he beat a lot of the top contenders. At middleweight, he's not really fought anyone, but he did beat Derenchenko a lot easier than Golovkin did. And I just think at this age right now, it's kind of like, can Golovkin beat him? So maybe it's a bit crazy to say that, but I just think...
Yeah, you know, okay, no. I actually kind of understood what you was trying to say. Yeah. I feel like Charlo, yeah? Although Charlo, you know, he's been campaigning for a while now, we still see him as a fighter climbing up the ranks. We see him as someone who's on the come up, yeah? And he just needs an opportunity to kind of have his coming out party. Yeah. Triple G, he's supposed to be someone who's already at the top of the mountain and is looking down at challenges coming up towards him. But then when you actually check out his career and his resume, the only fights that he's had that's actually meant anything, as far as, you know, the fans go and stuff, is Daniel Jacobs and Canelo. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas Charlo, the guys that he's fought coming up, they may not be on Triple G's level in terms of status, but they've been on Charlo's level because he's been fighting guys who was coming up at the same time as him. Like at the time when he fought Julian Williams was a dangerous fight. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, we didn't know what was going to happen in that fight. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, so I think it's more that kind of thing. And now Charlo is out here and he's calling out. You know, he's calling out the Triple Gs, he's calling out the Canelos. He's just waiting for them to actually acknowledge him. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And
my last point as well is I saw a few people saying that Derenchenko was going to trouble Charlo, he's going to beat Charlo and whatever. Then after he beat him, it's like, oh, so like, I think when you pick someone to win and the other person wins, you've got to give them some type of credit, man. Definitely. So
it's actually mad. Like when you actually see the way how they try to elevate Triple G, and then they try to compare him and you know, like he's in the class of, say, someone like Canelo. But then when you look at Canelo's resume, compared to Triple G's resume, and even listen, forget his resume in the last 5 years or whatever, or the last 10 years or whatever, Like let's look at Canelo, like, you know, within the last 3 years. Like he's had way more meaningful fights than Triple G. I mean, is any of us even interested in the third Canelo Triple G fight?
Me personally, I don't think it's going to happen, but I want to see the Charlo fight. But I just don't think it's going to happen because of BBC and this, that, and the other. So, but that's the fight I personally want to see.
You want to see Triple G Canelo?
No. I'm saying I'll watch it, but the fight that I personally want to see the most is GGG versus Charlo. But I just don't think it's GGG. I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay. I mean, we've also got Billy Joe Saunders there as well. But yeah, that's another fight.
Did Billy Joe move up to 168?
He did actually. His next fight is at 168. His next fight is at 168. I mean, Triple G refuses to move up. So you know what I mean? Like everyone in his weight class, all the names in his weight class, are going to move up. Yeah, and he's just there, but that's languishing at 160.
The only fight there really for him is Charlo then,
and Andrade as well.
I think Andrade was planning on moving up as well.
Okay, what about Chris Eubank Jr.? Is he 168 or 160?
I think he's 160 at the moment. That's the fight I'd watch, but I just think even that's a bit of a like. You know what? Yeah. Fuck it. At this stage,
I think he's 168.
Is he? Okay. We'll have to double check on that. You know what I mean? But I know Eubanks moved up to 168 before in the past, but I'm not sure what weight he's currently fighting at. But okay, I mean, has anyone else got anything to add to that? Or
no, I think that's a pretty good solid assessment.
And this is the TBK podcast.